Oh, you lying creep. I can't believe you. You're such a scumbag. I'm not staying together with a lying jerk like you for one more second. I'm breaking up with you.
Whoa. Hold on there, Nancy. What's going on? What happened? Why do you want to break up with me? I don't understand.
Don't play dumb. You've got some nerve, deceiving me for all this time, and now you're pretending like you're totally innocent? I will never forgive you for this ever.
I wasn't deceiving. What do you mean? When have I ever lied to you, Nancy? I've always been forthcoming with you. I really have no idea what you're talking about. So please, can we calm down for a minute and talk about this?
You told me that you had a job at the biggest company in the city, but that wasn't true, was it? You were lying about everything. From day one, you're an evil, manipulative liar.
Please, Nancy, look, you've got to believe me. I wasn't lying. Why do you think I was lying to you about my job?
You can't fool me anymore, Shane. I just saw you. I just stopped by your office to see if you wanted to go out to eat during your lunch break. I expected to see you at the desk doing real work. But what did I find? You were cleaning toilets.
What? Oh no, you saw that? Oh gee, well, okay. Well, this is embarrassing.
It's too late to tell me the truth now, Shane. You had your chance to be honest, and you blew it. I thought you had a respectable job working for a respectable company. I only started dating you because I thought you were rich, but now I find out that you're just a toilet cleaner? That's not a real job. That's something loser high school dropouts do because they have no other options. I'm not staying with a loser like you. I'm breaking up with you. We're through.
Nancy, please, hold on just 1 second. I can explain. This is all a big misunderstanding.
I don't want to hear any more of your lies or excuses, Shane. You're just a pathetic failure who has to pretend to be rich to get a girlfriend. Seriously, do you have no shame at all? I would sooner die than to lower myself to cleaning toilets. But you don't even have enough self-respect to get a decent job being a cashier or something. I bet you were planning to lie to me all the way to our wedding day, weren't you? Sorry, but I'm not interested in financially supporting a poor loser like you. You're lucky I don't sue you for fraud.
Nancy, I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong. But could you please just listen to me for a minute? I can explain everything.
I already told you, I'm not interested in any more of your lies. I'm done. We're breaking up. Never contact me again.
No, please, wait. You've got to believe me, you're making a mistake. Nancy? Did you really just block me? You never gave me a chance to explain.
Hey there, Shane. It's been a while, huh? Did you get the invitation to my wedding?
Yeah. Hey there, Nancy. Yeah, it's been a while. And yeah, I got your invitation, but you blocked me 3 years ago, and now all of a sudden you're sending me an invitation to your wedding. I thought it might have been delivered by mistake at first. Also, this says your wedding is 1 week from now. Most people typically give a bit more notice than that.
Are you really in any position to criticize me after you lied your way into my heart by pretending to be rich? Get over yourself.
You still think I was lying to you? Huh? Well, whatever. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm over it, and I'm over you. So what's your angle in sending this invitation?
Angle? I don't have any angle. I just wanted you to see me on my happiest day of my life, so I can see you on the most miserable day of your life. My fiance works for a really big company, one of the biggest in the state, and unlike you, the toilet cleaner, he actually does a real job. He's smarter than you, harder than you, richer than you, and he's just all around way more of a man than you. I thought that if you saw what a real catch I landed, it would help you break out of your depression from losing me. I'm trying to help you move on. You understand, right? Out of the kindness of my heart, I'm allowing a pathetic toilet cleaner like you to get a teeny tiny taste of what a real wedding looks like.
Depression? I just told you, I'm over you. I've been for years now. So look, don't tell me to get over myself until you do something about that unwarranted self-importance of yours. Let me make this as clear to you as I possibly can. You're absolutely nothing to me anymore. I have no feelings left for you. Well, thanks for the invitation, but I'm not going to go to your wedding. Congratulations. Have a nice life.
Oh my god, you're running away like a scared little kid. It doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and mark you down as attending. I'll have a seat ready for you with a name tag reading Shane the Toilet Cleaner.
What? You're something else, Nancy. First you send me an invitation 1 week before the wedding, and now that I've told you I'm not coming, you pull a stunt like that. Unreal. Do you have any concern for anyone other than yourself?
Why should I care about what some loser toilet cleaner thinks? I'll tell you what, how about you come and clean the toilets at the venue? I'll pay you minimum wage, which is probably more than you make. It's not like you have anything better to do. Tell you what, I'll stop by and pick you up at your company, okay? Just be sure to take a shower. I don't want your toilet germs getting in my car.
Fine, Nancy. You win. If you want me to come that badly, then okay, I'll come. But just so you're not caught off guard, I'm pretty sure that you'll come to regret this, and sooner than you think.
Are you saying I'll embarrass myself by inviting some broke toilet cleaner to my wedding? Now, don't worry about all of that. I'm inviting you so I can show everyone how I traded up big time. I'm so looking forward to this, Shane. Hey there, toilet boy. Are you enjoying the show? Didn't I look so hot in my beautiful white dress?
How do you have free time during your wedding to be texting me? Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm having a good time. You placed me in the dead center of the Friends of the Bride section, and all of your friends keep giving me these super nasty looks. You keep glancing at me with this super smug, satisfied look on your face. Your college friends keep intentionally bumping into me every time they pass by my table. I've got to say, this is an experience like nothing I've ever had before. It's so bizarre, and it's kind of hilarious.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Make sure to take in all the sights. Someone in your economic class will probably never get another chance to see a wedding as nice as this. Aren't you glad I invited you? A simple thank you would be nice.
It's not like I asked you to invite me.
You know, actually, I hate to say this now that you're having a good time, but you smell like urinal bugs. Could you please leave?
What?
Yeah, my friends are complaining that you smell awful. They're like, why did you invite this guy? He smells awful. And we're just about to start the speeches in a few minutes, so I don't want your toilet stink to ruin the mood when my friends and family make their emotional, moving speeches about me, okay? You've served your purpose anyway, so I don't need you here anymore.
You really are a piece of work, Nancy. I've never met anyone so lacking in common decency as you. Oh well, it's what it is. Fine, I'm leaving. I wish you all the happiness in the world, for as long as it lasts.
Don't forget to leave your present at the reception desk. Bye-bye, toilet boy. Shane, where did you go? Where are you right now?
What do you care? You told me to leave, so I left. I was just about to get a snack at the convenience store.
Get back here right now.
What's with this sudden change of heart?
It's been chaos over here since you left. Tucker noticed you had left a few minutes ago, and when he asked me what happened to you, I told him you were my loser toilet cleaner ex-boyfriend, and you smelled awful, so I told you to leave. I had no idea why he would care about you, but after I said that, he got super mad at me.
Who's this Tucker? Oh, is that your husband's name?
Who else would I be talking about right now? Yes, he's my husband. He said that the company you work for is a major client of his company, and that being rude to you could have a big impact on his company's bottom line. He was reaming me out in front of the whole reception. So obviously, I couldn't just stand there and take that. So I gave him my piece of my mind. I was like, why do you even matter? You're just a toilet cleaner. It's not like you're someone important to the company or anything. So what if I kicked you out? And then he got even angrier at me. He started yelling at me that you're not just some toilet cleaner. You're actually some kind of big shot. Like, he said he's spoken to you a bunch of times at board meetings and stuff. Is that true? There's no way that can be true. He must be mistaking you for someone else, right?
Ah. Now I see what's going on. Yeah, that makes perfect sense now, actually. First off, I can assure you that your husband isn't lying to you. I'm actually the company president.
The president? Shut up. That's got to be a lie.
No. It's actually the legitimate truth. I tried to tell you, 3 years ago, but I was never a toilet cleaner. You just had the wrong impression. Oh, tell you what, why don't you look at the homepage? That should clear things up for you.
Fine, I'll check. Oh my god, you are the president! Then why were you cleaning toilets that day? Company presidents don't clean toilets, do they?
Well, in general, probably not. But you could say it's kind of a stress reliever for me. Every once in a while I get in this weird mood where I start noticing every little speck of dust and dirt in the room. When that happens, I just have to start cleaning everything in sight. It's a weird compulsion, I know, but it's just how I am. I usually borrow a suit from the janitorial staff when I do that, since I don't want to get my suit dirty.
That makes zero sense. What?
Yeah, no, I can see why you'd say that. It's a habit I picked up from my father, actually. My dad was a total neat freak too. He did more of the cleaning than my mum did. When I got old enough, I started helping him out. It was pretty nice father-son time. Actually, we made a lot of fun memories cleaning together. After a while, I started to understand the incredible feeling of satisfaction to see the whole room sparkling clean. Cleaning toilets was always especially satisfying, since they start out dirtier than pretty much anything else in the house. That day you saw me cleaning toilets must have been one of those days where I got the urge to clean again.
I don't believe this. What kind of weirdo cleans toilets as a stress reliever? You've got to be kidding me. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Thanks to you, my life is collapsing around me right now.
Excuse me? Because of me. You were the one who refused to listen to me as I was trying to explain all of that to you. You just started texting furiously at me, told me you were breaking up with me, and then unceremoniously blocked my number. You blocked me on social media too, and then you moved out of your apartment, so I had no way to contact you. Oh, and remember that one time you happened to run into me on the street, near my office, I might add, and you threatened to call the police on me? All I did was walk down the sidewalk across the street from you by sheer happenstance. What was I supposed to do? Tell you I'm a company president while you're on the phone with the police? You would have just accused me of lying to you again, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe you would have thought you were lying, probably. But that's no excuse for you not telling me. This is your responsibility. You could have tried harder to convince me you were telling the truth.
What was I supposed to do? Hire a skywriter to write a message in the sky above the city, telling you the whole story? Look, tell me, what should I have done in order to convince you I was telling the truth? What evidence would have worked on you?
Oh, whatever. Just get back here now. The wedding is getting totally ruined. Tucker and his parents are all furious at me. They're telling me that if I'm the kind of woman who would insult a major client, then he shouldn't be marrying me. They're all threatening to cancel the wedding, Shane. You have to do something.
In all fairness, I have to admit his parents kinda do have a point. Getting married to a woman who would invite her ex-boyfriend to her wedding just to make fun of him? Man, that's a fate worse than death.
Would you just get over yourself and come back here already? You have to get Tucker off my back. Tell him to forgive me.
Not a chance. What reason would I possibly have to help you out? Your wedding, your life. Whatever happens to you is no concern of mine. This is your mess. You clean it up.
How can you be so cold? What kind of person are you? Don't you care at all my wedding is about to be destroyed because of you? You are the worst person I have ever met. You're scum, Shane.
Okay, really now? Do you have even the slightest bit of self-awareness? Even after everything that's happened, you're still trying to pin all of your failures on me. First there was our breakup 3 years ago, your fault. Then you invited me to your wedding just to insult me, your fault. And then you told me I stunk and kicked me out of the reception, your fault. Every single thing that's happening to you right now is the direct result of your own boneheaded actions. All of this is your fault, not mine. Congratulations, Nancy. You ruined your own life. Don't blame me for that.
Shut up! This is all your fault. Get back here right now and talk some sense into Tucker. get down on your knees and beg him to forgive me. I don't care what it takes. Tell him that you'll double your business with them or something. You're gonna do whatever it takes to clean up this mess.
I'll leave you to your delusions now. I'm not coming back for anything. I'm going home now. And I'm about to get in the car, so I'll take my leave from this conversation here. Oh, and I'm also blocking your number. Bye.
Don't you dare block me, Shane. You have to help me. You have to come back here, please. I'm begging you. I'll do anything, please. Shane!
After that, Nancy's husband-to-be called off the wedding, and the reception dinner turned into just a simple luncheon. Nancy was bawling and begging for forgiveness, as were her parents. But Tucker and his family were unmoved. Since they hadn't officially submitted their marriage certificate yet, and thus weren't legally married, he broke off the engagement. Since it was Nancy's behaviour that caused all of these, she was the one who got stuck paying the bill for their extravagant wedding too. A few days later, Tucker and his superiors came by my company to apologise for the events that day. It seems that Tucker had noticed that I was in attendance at the ceremony and reception, but that he had been so busy with the other guests that he hadn't had a chance to come speak with me properly. Apparently, he turned as pale as a ghost when Nancy told him she kicked me out of the building. He was fervently apologising to me, but I assured him that I didn't blame him at all for anything that happened. And I also assured him that our company's relationships would continue just as it was before. Then, a few days after that, Nancy stormed into my office. I don't know if she was drunk or something, but she told me that since I broke up her engagement, that I had to take responsibility and marry her instead. Seriously? What? Unfortunately for her, and fortunately for me, I was already married with children. When she heard that, she went totally berserk and started breaking everything she could get her hands on. So we called the police, and she was arrested and charged with malicious destruction of property. I have no idea what she thought was going to happen when she tried to force that ultimatum on me. What a piece of work. It's going to take a whole lot of cleaning for me to work off the stress from these last few weeks. Might just give the janitorial staff the day off and do all the cleaning myself.
Kimberly, I just saw your text from this afternoon. Are you insane? Are you actually going to get married? I'm sorry, is there some kind of problem with that? It's not like this should be breaking news to you. I told you a while ago that I was seeing a guy and we were pretty seriously thinking about marriage. Don't dodge the issue. You're free to marry whoever you want. I don't care. The problem is the timing. I will not allow you to get married before your brother. Clark? But he doesn't even have a girlfriend right now. Then you'll have to put off your wedding for a year or two. However long it takes for Clark to get married. Once he's married, then you'll have my permission to get married yourself. However long it takes? Are you serious? Besides, every single time Clark has ever started dating a girl, you immediately come between them and force them to break up. Your brother has responsibilities as the heir to our family business. He's going to be the president of the company someday. I can't allow him to marry some rubbish woman from off the street. I won't allow him to marry any woman but one who is genuinely worthy of him. It's my duty as his mother to help him choose a suitable wife. Okay, so when you say however long it takes, what are we talking about? 5 years? 10 years? What? Who knows? However long it takes means however long it takes. All I do know is that you're not allowed to get married until Clark does. I know this probably doesn't matter at all to you, but I've talked to Clark, and he's completely fine with it. Oh my goodness. That Clark is such an angel. I'm sure it must have been so hard for him to say those words to you. He's so kind to be able to consider the feelings of even a pathetic failure like you. But it must have been killing him inside to hear that you were going to get married before him. Your brother's kindness aside, I'm the one who has the final say here, and I say no. That's final.
Hey, Kimberly. I just got off the phone with Mom. Guess you finally told her that you're getting married, huh?
Hey, Clark. Yeah, and just as expected, she was completely against it.
She's so determined that you can't get married before me. Even though the reason it's taken me so long to get married myself is because she keeps getting in the way whenever I find a woman I like.
Yeah, apparently she won't let you marry any woman who is undeserving of being the wife of a company president. Any idea what that means?
In short, it means that she won't let me marry any woman who won't do everything she says, how she says it, when she says.
Good grief. When did our mom become such a stereotypical overbearing mother-in-law? She's the kind of character you see in cheesy soap operas.
Right? My thoughts exactly.
Anyway, we're going ahead with moving the plans for the wedding along with the schedule, regardless of whether Mom approves or not.
Good for you. That's exactly what you should do. Besides, it doesn't matter anyway, since I'm already gonna get married before you.
Yeah. Wow, it's actually really impressive that you've managed to hide your girlfriend from Mom for so long.
I didn't have any choice. I know for certain that she's the only girl in the world for me. She's my soulmate, my life partner. I don't have a life without her in it. I'll do whatever it takes to marry her, no matter what it costs.
Well, I'm glad you found someone like that.
And the same to you.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, it looks like Dad is finally making his move too.
Yeah, I heard. He's called me the other day to tell me about it. I'll bet there are gonna be a few bumps in the road ahead for us, but I'm 100% sure that there's happiness waiting for us on the other side.
Me too.
Kimberly, you've got some serious explaining to do. What's this I hear about you preparing for your wedding? I made myself very clear that you are not, under any circumstances, allowed to get married before your brother does. What is wrong with you? I am your mother, and you will do as I say. That you would show such disrespect to your own elder brother is disgusting. It's disrespectful to your father and I. It's disrespectful to the entire family. Not to worry, Mom. Everything's going according to plan. Clark will be married by the time my wedding rolls around. What do you mean? Oh, and just so you're not under any false impressions, this isn't happening because I decided I would obey your command about not getting married until Clark does. This is just how it happened to turn out naturally. You're talking nonsense. How can Clark get married? He doesn't even have a girlfriend. I've got a great idea. Why don't you go ahead and ask Clark directly about this instead of hearing it from third person from me? Ask him about what? He's been saying that he'd let you know once everything was in order, so I think he'll probably be fine with talking to you about it if you ask him. I gotta go now. We have a meeting with the wedding planner in a bit. Hold it right there, Kimberly. Talk to you later, Mom.
Hey, Mom. I understand that it's finally time for you and I to have a little talk.
Clark, please, tell me what on earth is going on. Your foul little sister is telling all sorts of bizarre tall tales. Like, that you're getting married. That's ridiculous, isn't it? You don't even have a girlfriend. How could you get married? She couldn't be content with just being a failure of a daughter. She had to become a vile little liar too.
That's one of the things we need to talk about, Mom. I need an answer from you right now. Why'd you call Kimberly a failure? Why'd you treat her like a second-class child? She's pretty successful in her career. She's responsible, a good member of the community. I have no idea why you treat her the way you do, and I want you to tell me.
Why? Isn't it obvious? She never even went to college, and she didn't even go to a decent private high school, just some crummy local public high school.
Are you joking? Mom, you're the one who told her that you wouldn't pay for her to go to a private school. You forced her to go to that public school.
You, on the other hand, truly make me proud to be your mother. You went to the finest prep school in the county, and then to the finest private university in the state. And after graduating, you started working for one of the largest companies in the country. And what's more, you've started your own company that you're now the president of. Honestly, the two of you are so drastically different. It's hard for me to believe that you're even siblings. How could I not call her a failure? That's what she is.
Okay, well, I've had just about all I can take of that conversation, so if it's alright with you, I'll just move along to the next order of business. Mom, I got married.
You what? Oh, Clark, you're something special. Don't worry, you don't have to play along with Kimberly's delusions. We both know she's a compulsive liar. Don't worry at all about what that little failure thinks. You go ahead and take your time to pick the most perfect woman in the entire world as your wife. I'll be here to support you every step of the way.
Will you please listen? I really did get married to the secretary in my office. So no, Kimberly isn't lying about this.
You what? Your secretary? You mean the one with the glasses? The person who came to pick you up to drive you to the airport for your business trip. That secretary.
Yep, that's her.
That was the woman?
I guess I don't blame you for not realizing that. You've only seen her in her work attire. She always wears slacks and a jacket when she's at the office, and hey, she's pretty tall. So there are actually a lot of people like you who think she's a man at first. She may not seem the type, but she actually used to be a professional model in her teens. She's gorgeous. She dresses plainly like that on purpose to keep men from hitting on her and distracting her from work.
I don't believe this. How could you go over my head and pick a woman by yourself, Clark? I do not approve of this. Not one bit. How am I supposed to live together in the same house as a woman who dresses like a man? She'll completely ruin the mood of this house.
What are you talking about? We're not going to live together with you.
What?
I've told you before that I'm moving out of the house as soon as I get married. This shouldn't be news to you, and furthermore, you also knew that as soon as me and Kimberly got married, that you were going to move to the new house that Dad's building near where he's living for work right now.
But that place is out in some backwater town. They don't even have a Starbucks.
We talked about this over a long time, and you had accepted that, Mom. You're not going to go back on your promise now, are you? Don't tell me, is this the reason you've been interfering in our love lives for all these years? Have you just been trying to desperately cling to your cosmopolitan lifestyle as long as possible?
No, that's not it at all.
I'll take that as a yes. Moving on.
Clark, can I tell you something?
Nah, not interested. Like I said, moving on. I bet you've already heard this, but Kimberly isn't planning to invite you to her wedding. I think you might want to take some time to do some serious introspection on why that happened, and what you need to do to make it right.
Hello there, Kimberly. Today is your big day, isn't it? I bet you're excited. I prepared a big surprise for you. I hope you'll enjoy it. Well, Kimberly, what did you think of my big surprise? You were surprised, weren't you? Mom, what in the world was that? I was worried you might go and do something stupid, so I did have my guard up. But wearing all black to a wedding? Black hat, black dress, black coat, black shoes, you even painted your fingernails and toenails black. Yes, well, getting married to someone like you is practically a funeral, so I came to mourn for your poor, poor husband. And if I'm going to mourn, it only makes sense that I would dress for the occasion. This is what you get for being such a rebellious little brat. Is it really this fun for you to do everything in your power to sabotage your own daughter's wedding? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Your brother betrayed me and married a woman without my permission. And once you get married, I'm going to have to move away from a civilized society to live around a bunch of backwards country bumpkins who probably can't even spell the word university. Is that really all? I like living in the city, don't you get it? And now that I've brought your wedding to a halt, you're not getting married anymore. You'll be single forever. I'll see to that personally. Oh, and one other thing. Now that your brother has moved out, I'll need you to move in and take over for him. Without him around, this house is turning into a real mess, so you'll need to get ready to move as soon as possible. You are really oblivious, aren't you, Mom? We've been legally married for some time now. What? My husband and I were officially married just about a month ago after Clark got married. And I'm currently enjoying the newlywed life with my husband right now, so I'm afraid I don't really feel much like moving in with you. You what? And besides, the wedding is still on. No, that can't be. Well, to be more precise, the reception is still on, and it's going to start soon. Fortunately, there are no other parties who booked the reception hall today. We talked to the manager, explained the situation, and he's willing to give us a few hours extra for no charge. What a generous guy. I thought for sure it would have been cancelled. Once again, fortunately, we only planned a small wedding for the family members and close friends. They're all being very understanding, and they had no problems with continuing the ceremony right where we left off. I won't let that happen. I'm going to barge right through the doors of that reception hall and give you another piece of my mind. Mom, really? Are you 12? You're such a child. Excuse me? We requested additional security staff from the venue, so no, you're not getting into the reception. Don't even bother. You can go home now. You're no longer needed here. How dare you? You're kicking your own mother out of your own wedding? Do you actually think you're in any position to be acting so indignant right now? And not to mention, aren't you forgetting the position you're putting Clark in? What? What position? I could have sworn I told you about this. Maybe you just weren't paying attention. My husband's father is the president of the company that just so happens to be the single largest client of Clark's company. He is? I've explained our family circumstances to him, so he also had an idea you might be up to something. But to have the mother of the president of the company he pays millions of dollars to every year storm into the wedding of his own son, makes a massive scene, disturbs all the guests, and deliberately try to shut down the wedding? You have to understand, he's furious right now. Thanks to you, Clark was basically on his knees begging for his forgiveness for about 20 minutes straight. It was the most fervent apology I've ever seen. And you know who was right there alongside him? Dad. In the end, it was my husband who was finally able to calm him down. And after I explained in greater detail what kind of nutjob you are, his anger actually turned into sympathy for us. Do you have the slightest bit of remorse for almost single-handedly destroying your son's company? I had no idea. Plus, you can stop pretending. I know the real reason you don't want to leave the city. And honestly, I have to say it makes me ashamed to be your daughter. Kimberly, please, you've got to do something. Talk to your father for me. He's going to divorce me. Can you believe it? If you could just talk to your father and explain how this is really all your fault for disobeying me, I'm sure he'll understand. So you've got to call him right away, okay? Kimberly, answer me this instant. Your disgraceful behavior has ruined my reputation. Now everyone is turned against me. All of our family, my friends, even your brother. And it's all your fault. You need to fix what you did. Kimberly, pick up the phone. What an embarrassing display. Really, she just refuses to see reason. I bet she didn't even finish the conversation with my dad before she started bombarding me with texts and calls. Somehow, she's under the impression that it was what happened at the wedding that caused Dad to divorce her. But that's not actually the case. You see, my dad hired a private detective to look into Mom's activities. He was perplexed by how desperate my mom was to stay in the city, even going so far as to work overtime to prevent me and Clark from getting married. And what he discovered was that Mom was having an affair, or at least she was trying to. There's a man in one of her exercise classes who she's been flirting with non-stop for the last 5 years or so, but he hasn't been responding to her advances. It got to the point that she practically stalking him, and it seemed he finally had enough of her nonsense because he got a restraining order against her. So Mom ended up being divorced by her husband, disowned by her 2 children, and unceremoniously dumped by the man she had been pining after for 5 years. I guess Mom got her wish after all. Now she gets to spend the rest of her life in the city, although now she'll be doing it alone, in a quiet, run-down apartment on the bad side of town.